everybody. Today's video finds us north of Thong. We're out here in basically nowhere. There's a bunch of rice paddies and stuff like that around here. And what we're going to take a look at today is we're going to take a look at this. This is a 50-meter long reclining Buddha image that's from the Ayutthaya era, and it is called Wat Khun Inthapramun, I think is what it's called. And it's a really cool image. It's from the Ayutthaya era, and there used to be a humongous Wihan around it, and it was burned, I think, during the first invasion of the Burmese in what they call the White Elephant War. And there's an interesting story about how it was built. So we're going to walk through here and let's look at this big image. We'll look at the old Ayutthaya hall, and then there's a modern hall out back. We may go take a look at it too. So let's see what we see today. This is a little bit of the area that it's in. They've built this little garden over here. Then there's a local market that they set up and sell stuff for the tourists that come over here and take a look at it. And then they have parking. And then up there is the old hall. We'll take a look at it second. And then this is the reason people come over here. Now, when I say tourist, this isn't a place that's on the normal tourist trail, but the Thais come over here. So the Thais will be tourists and they come over here and have a good day. There's a lot of people that will ride their bike through this area. It's pretty rural and it's kind of a popular activity, and they'll come over here and they'll ride it around and they'll go to this temple and a couple other locations here in this area. So this is 50 meters long. It is just absolutely massive. And I think there's larger images now that are in like Bangkok, but at the time this was the largest in Thailand. I think there's one in like Sukhothai area that's 54 meters. But this one is outdoors, just the weather just hits it like you see. So the Buddha face is facing towards the north. And then over that way his head faces towards the east. And then they have a little shrine here. And this is the outer wall. And then these are the support columns for the humongous Wihan. Now there's been at least 3 Thai kings that have came here. Wat Borommakot from the Ayutthaya era, he restored this in like the 1730s to 1750s, somewhere in there. And then King Rama V, he came here a couple times, and then King Rama IX came here twice in the 70s. And he gave it the royal, like the royal robe that's over the top of it. Yeah, really cool. And you can see the support columns that are out here. These were quite massive, and this would have been the little walkway around the outside. And you see the would have had the lotus bud up there. You can see they have a little shrine here, and the people come over and do their thing, and they stick the gold leaf and stuff like that on it. Yeah, they put this small little reclining Buddhas here on these columns, and these were octagon. Check out the size of these. These were quite massive. That would have held the roof up. The octagon was like the styling from the Ayutthaya era. And what the Thais come and do is they stick this gold leaf on them, and you see they've stuck some of the coins on it also. I think the head is like 11 or 13 meters high. It's just absolutely massive, and it's a Sukhothai styled face, which is what you see in a lot of the reclining Buddhas. And what's cool is this is some of the old original writing that was in the plaster here around these humongous columns. So that would have been saying something about the temple, I'm sure. Yeah, really, really cool. Now the story of this temple is that it was built by the Khun Inthapramun, and apparently he was a tax collector during the Ayutthaya era, and he was embezzling money to build this temple. And when he was confronted about it by the king, he lied, and he didn't want the king to know where he was getting the money from, because the king would have claimed the temple for himself and would have got all the merit from it. So he lied about where he got the money, and then he was later executed for embezzling money, I guess. That's the story about it. This is behind the Buddha, and then they have a modern hall back over there. Yeah, really cool. And this is kind of interesting. Look at this little flower that's growing right here out of the bricks. So all you gardeners that can't get anything to grow, that's just growing right out of the absolute worst location. Check out these columns though. You can see how they built it with the brick, and these are octagonal. Let's go look at the feet and then we'll look at the front of it and then we'll go over to that old hall over there. You see the size of the outer wall also of just this Wihan. And the Thais have came over here and put these little elephants and stuff like that. They've made little shrines here in the back. And the same over here with the little images out here behind the Buddha. They have a set of stairs here on the back. That's how you get that robe up over it. And then this is the Buddha footprints. So they have a little thing there too where the Thais can go and stick the gold leaf on it. Now, a lot of these Buddha footprints will have all the auspicious symbols. This has 2 of them. And then it has all the toes that are the same length. Just the normal styling that you see with the reclining Buddhas. But check out how absolutely massive this thing is. Now, one thing that is nice about the building that had collapsed down and burned is that you can actually see the whole image. You see how many columns there are right here? This would have blocked your view, and that's the worst thing about it when you go to these big, huge reclining Buddhas with the old construction. Yeah, this is a really nice view. Yeah, the pillars back in the old days when this hall was built would have blocked your view. So that is the one nice thing is about it being collapsed down, is you can see the whole image. But how magnificent would this building have been if it would have been still intact? You see all the Ayutthaya style architecture with the lotus flowers, and it would have just been absolutely awesome. Okay, so let's walk over here. You can see the old outer wall also. Let's walk up there and let's look at that little building on the hill. And then we'll go over, take a quick look at the new temple. You can see the styling that would have been on this wall. And that would have looked like that all the way across the base right here. And they've reconstructed this wall, kind of just rounded it off at the top. But it would have been whitewashed, would have had all the flowers and the red tiles on the roof, everything else that you would have seen in the Ayutthaya era. They have a little shrine over here. And then over here is where the little market and stuff is. A couple of the local kids over here playing. And then over here is a little bit of the stuff you buy, like the flowers, and make the donations to the temples. And then the market's over that way. And then right over here on this hill is this little hall. You got some lottery sales. You got a cat that's just racked right out here. He's comfy. You can see the tree is kind of growing over the corner of this. They've came in and put like a roof on it to keep it from weathering anymore. But it is just an old abandoned hall. And this tree is just absolutely massive here in this corner. We've got an old data plate on the front of it in the stucco also. They've came back in and restored a little bit of these walls, but not a whole lot of restoration has been done to it. So you can get these right here, make a donation to the temple, and then put it inside here for the monks. And this is what it looks like inside. So the monk comes over from the main temple, and the people can make the donations here. He's got his little platform. That tree is quite amazing how it's completely overtaken that corner. And the locals have come and put the ladies' dresses on it. They've made it into like a little shrine for the female spirits. Then you can see the main image in here. Yeah, this is the roof they put to keep it from weathering anymore. You can see they're all doing their thing here. Yeah, really an interesting little hall. There's not much left of it, but it's still cool that they're using it. And then right out back here is a little chetty. You can see what's left of it. It's in pretty nice shape. Got a couple dogs barking at me over here. Yeah, they're over here guarding this door. And right there looks like a new hall that they haven't got a whole lot done to it. And then over here is a little bit more of the little local market. Yeah, let's go take a quick look inside the new hall here. Yeah, you can see the different levels of it. It's an octagonal base, and then it would have been an Ayutthaya style chetty. Yeah, really cool. You can see where that tree has pushed that corner out over there. So it's eventually going to knock this whole thing down. You can see the same styling along the bottom here as what would have been on that Wihan. That would have been over the reclining Buddha. And then the old chetty here that's on the west side. Yeah, that's all that's left of this temple here, the old part. And there's just a little bit of the stucco remaining on it. Yeah, really cool. Now let's walk back and look at the new part for just a minute. Yeah, one more look at this massive image here. And then back over there you can just see the roof of the building we'll walk to. Now the locals come here and they tie these little gold strings on the trees for some reason. Probably a way to get some luck or some merit or something like that. This over here is the new hall. It's right behind the humongous reclining Buddha. But this is a beautiful, beautiful building. And it's just right out here in the middle of all these rice paddies. And then there's a huge statue of one of the monks that was here at this temple. But check out all that styling, all the gold and the white and those little mythical birds up there. Yeah, really cool. And there's a little bit more to the temple over here. You have the bell tower and then the monk quarters and some of the, like the prayer halls and stuff back over that away. But this is all we're gonna look at here is this humongous building. And they have the little shrine here. And they'll have some murals up on the second floor, but they're modern murals. So they come in here, they have a little image. And then this huge, huge hall here. So this is where they'll have the meetings. They'll do stuff in here. This is just a place for the monks with the little shrine over there. And one of the royals. Let's go up to the second floor. Looks like they're adding some murals here. You can see they have pictures of people right here, and he'll paint them. There's his little paintbrushes and stuff. All right, this is up here on the second story of this hall. This is really, really cool. You can see the huge Buddha, the teak wood, and then all the paintings all around, the scenes of the Jataka. And then they have this mural right here. And this is kind of what they're doing down below. This is a modern mural here. You can see these are people, like real people they've painted into the picture. The setting of this hall when they built it, yeah, and all the people around the reclining image. Kind of a nice little touch. And then this is the main image in this hall. It's got the umbrella over it. And it has the little disciples here. And then there's an old picture of King Rama IX right here. He came to this temple twice in the 70s. I think the last time was 1979. But that's the whole thing here. And you can get the things for making donations here also. And then the mother of pearl inlaid little seats here for the monks. And you can see the paintings up here, like the goddess of the earth flooding the world. These are small scenes of the Jataka, which is pretty cool here also. And then they have some of the wax figures of the old monks that were here at this temple. And the last thing we'll look at, this is right here on the east side of that big hall. It's the Luang Pu To. He's a really famous monk from Thai history. You can see it's got a string connecting him to the Buddha image inside. And then back over this way is that reclining Buddha. Kind of cool to see the top knot through the trees. And then you can see this hall right here. Yeah, it's really, really a nice building. That'll finish up our video over here at this old ancient temple. This is really, really cool. Wat Khun Inthapramun, or however you say it. It's really nice. I like it. It's so cool to come out here to it. It's out here in the middle of all these rice paddies and you see sugar canes and stuff like that. It's really, really rural around here. So when you're here, you're away from, you know, the city and the traffic and stuff like that. You just come out here, you can walk around this image and enjoy what you see. I would definitely recommend it. It's not where most of the tourists go. This is definitely off the touristy trail, the Western tourists anyway, just because it's kind of hard to get here. It's a couple hours north of Bangkok. You're like another 45 minutes or so north of Ayutthaya, so it's a little harder to get to, but it's worth the effort if you're in the area. I would recommend coming over here and checking it out. And definitely, if you like the video, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and then you're notified when I post other videos of stuff like this. And definitely leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you've been here or have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Plus, if you know more information about this temple, you know, the guy, the tax collector that embezzled the money and was, you know, lied about it, and, you know, he built it and expanded this temple. He was eventually whipped to death, is what they say. So if you know more about that story, I'd like to to know it, because I really enjoy the old legends and stuff like that that go around these temples. But anyway, from over here north of Ong Tong, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.